Hi, I'm back. Video number 2 for the night, and right now we're talking about uh, what's that ratchet ass show called? Thicker Than Water. Yes, I caught it again. Not like I wasn't trying to kid. I like people. I like when people try to act like they're not trying to watch something when they really do, when they really are trying to watch it. So I'm not even gonna pretend like I wasn't trying to watch it. But the thing about this show is I feel like it's one of those shows that has what I call the honey boo boo factor. And what the honey boo boo factor is, you know it's bad. You know the people on the show are gonna do stupid stuff, but you watch it just to watch them do stupid stuff. I mean, what other reason was there to watch Here Comes Honey Boo Boo but to watch them do stupid things? And I feel like Thicker Than Water is in the same ballpark as Honey Boo Boo. So in episode 2, they still manage to sound like escaped slaves. And you can get mad if you wanna. If you didn't see the video that I made before this one, I will repeat myself. It's not a southern accent thing. It's a cooning thing. Because I know plenty of people with southern accents. I have people in my family with southern accents. And they don't sound like this group of people right here. Even their youngest daughter doesn't sound like them. So I know it's just cooning and buffooning for the camera. Dennis was doing some preaching about millionaire stuff. And I zoned out because I'm not going to waste brain cells trying to listen to him talk about that. Then he has lunch with his family and tries to ask them what their intentions are on how they're going to become a millionaire, because there's nothing else important in the world but to become a millionaire. And they're going back and forth talking about trying to become a millionaire. And then it occurred to me how kind of sad it is that they actually still think $1 million is a lot of money. I mean, really, if you're a millionaire, like say you have $1 million, after taxes, you're really more like maybe a $750,000 heir. You need to make multi-millions to really be a millionaire. And even so, well, the taxes might be higher for that, but at least you'll actually have $1 million after taxes, so you really will be a millionaire. But anyways, that's aside. It's not, I don't know. There's my mind going off in tangents because that's what I do. Then we have Brooklyn saying how she wants to be the first black millionaire off of hair products. I would just like her to go back to school, or to school if she never started, because she needs to Google Madam C.J. Walker. She needs to Google the Dudley family, probably some other people like that, and then she'll know that ship has already sailed. There's already been black people that have made millions off of hair care. Maybe she did add the word weave at the end, so maybe she wants to be the first black person to make $1 million off of hair weave, which she could try, but unless she has a direct chain of distribution from Asia or South America, I don't know how she's going to do it. Anyways, Cyrene tries to explain to Brooklyn about how to be more professional, because Brooklyn took some kind of pot shots at Benji's wife, which I still don't know her name yet. And what Cyrene has to say actually made sense, and it was very well thought out, especially for a teenager. But of course, it goes right over Brooklyn's head because she can't see past her anger and jealousy for her baby sister to actually hear the words that are coming out of her mouth. Then, as I was noticing, them talking about wanting to be millionaires, so it's crazy how big my hands look when they're here. When I put them back here, they look normal size. But then when I put them close to the camera, they look crazy big. Anyways, they're still talking about the millionaire thing, and I just started focusing on everybody's hair because I'm thinking, for a family that is saying they're so wealthy and they have all this and that, why does their hair look such a mess all the time? It's just a big storm of bad perms and bad weaves, and I know I don't have perfect hair. You could see that I got different types of curls going on everywhere. It doesn't really match anything. It's frizzy, and it's basically baby hair that does whatever the hell it wants to do. Like, literally, if you have a black baby that's about 1 or 2 months old, the way their hair is, the way my hair is right now, it just never matured. It just stayed 2-month-old hair, and that's why it does what it does. But I'm not the one on television saying how much money I have. If you're on television, you want to say how much money you have, look like you have some money. Look how, like I said before, how Nene did. When Nene first came on, she didn't really have a lot of money. She had, a little bit of money between her and Greg. But as she got her money up, her looks got better and better. So yeah, money can make you look a hell of a lot better, but it can't buy you class. So Exhibit A, Kim Zolciak. Next. The wife and the sister go to a clothing boutique and they like everything in the boutique, even if it's ugly, just because it's in a boutique. And you could tell these are the type of people that will buy anything. If you just say, oh, this is the hottest new brand out of Paris, and it could be a garbage bag with a Louis Vuitton print, and they'll buy it just because it's a garbage bag with a Louis Vuitton print. So they can have Louis Vuitton garbage to throw out. Anyways, and I also noticed their makeup is pretty bad too, because so you got bad hair, you got bad makeup, and I should say bad for millionaire. I guess it's pretty much everyday makeup for a normal person, average person, maybe working in a cubicle at Aetna, but it's not millionaire or even $100,000 hair makeup and hair. What else? Oh, speaking of hair, I swear this dude just said that his wife has good hair. And the cooning continues. Then we meet Janetta, and Janetta is the middle sister between Janice and what's the wife's name? Jewel. I never remember her name either. And then Jewel's trying to give her little speech about how to become a millionaire and faking it till you make it. And she talks about you got to get a Louis Vuitton bag, and if you don't have a Louis Vuitton bag, get a fake one. And I can't disagree more with her. Let me take a sip of tea because I've been having a problem with my voice all day. It's raspy and I don't know. So I got some green tea with lemon in it. Hopefully that helps a little bit. But if you want to become a millionaire, it seems to me like it would be smarter to take the same money that you would be buying these Louis Vuitton bags with and invest it in something that's going to give you some type of return. I mean, for the same amount of money, use your mind, come up with a new product, and then take that money and patent the product, or say you want to, or take that same money to pay someone to build you a website. You know, for your next step, instead of having two Louis Vuitton bags, you take the money from the first bag and patent something, and you take the money from the second bag and start your marketing. And I'm sorry, this is what I need to do, but I don't have Louis Vuitton bag money yet. One day, not yet. Let's see. Brooklyn and her sister have a meeting about their weave venture, and I checked out because it was just too much hood rattery for me to decipher, so it is what it is. The dad placed something on the keyboard that was pretty boring, and it wasn't even as good as Come On Be My Baby Tonight. And if you remember where that's from, I dare somebody to put in the comments where they remember Come On Be My Baby Tonight from. And they will all know how old we are. What else? I was thinking as I was watching this whole show and how they interact with each other and how they're always on this whole millionaire thing, and that between that and the Feet Don't Fail Me Now talking, if I lived with them, I probably would put a bullet in my head because I couldn't handle that. I couldn't. And then I saw the yellow truck too. And I'm thinking to myself, who buys a tractor trailer truck and drives around with no trailer on it? For what reason? That doesn't even make sense. Even a Hummer was too small. That doesn't make any. Next thing you know, some fool with enough money is just gonna drive a tour bus everywhere. You go to the grocery store, you see a tour bus parked there, and it'll be bright, iridescent yellow that turns into orange. And some fool is gonna do that just because the tractor trailer truck is not big enough, so they have to really travel in style. I don't understand these people. I almost forgot about the hair show. The hair show, almost forgot about the hair show because I didn't see any hair to be shown. I just saw some girls walking up and down the runway, and their hair just looked like anybody. I don't know. It looked like anybody who's in a DMV office. Actually, I've seen better hairstyles on girls in the food court at the mall than what was coming down that runway. And then the whole little argument about the music, that was not necessary. And I do agree with the father. They should not have argued in front of people at all. That's very unprofessional. They could have squashed that ahead of time. But of course, they could have fixed the whole thing if they just had a damn rehearsal. I mean, even if you didn't have the space to rehearse, you can still have a rehearsal. The last fashion show that I did, we didn't get the space to rehearse until the night of the show. So what we did is we went somewhere else and rehearsed for several weeks in the other place. We got the dimensions of the stage. Or actually, the director got the dimensions of the runway. Took some tape, taped it down, and the models practiced where the tape was because the same dimensions as the runway. Speaking of directors, that's what she should have got. She should have got a stage director, and she should have got what else? Oh, I'm trying to think about it. Stage director and a floor manager. That would have helped her because the stage director would have coordinated with the lights and with the music, and the floor manager would have queued up the models, would have made sure everything happens on time. You need those behind the scenes people. A lot of people think, oh, I'm just gonna throw a show and it's just gonna be me, the people that are in the show, and someone doing the music. And to put on a really good show, it takes a lot of people. And I only mention floor director and or floor manager and a stage director, but you could really break it down and have someone be the lighting coordinator and have somebody be the director of music. You could really disperse that amongst a group of people and come up with a really good project. But she's not that far yet because she doesn't even know about Madam C.J. Walker, so I'm expecting too much to begin with. But I think that's everything. Oh, except for that her father said that the show looked like a poor man's nightclub, which is a shame. But then again, I kind of fault him too because he seems like he's too quick to criticize her and not help her at all. I mean, if he's saying that and someone tried to come for me on Twitter because I said I never heard of him before, and this person told me, what did they say? You better check your facts because he's a famous gospel jazz musician. And I had to tweet back, I'm sorry that you were mistaken that I gave a damn, because I don't. But back to my point is, if he's done all this work and he's in show business, why didn't he, talk to his daughter and say, hey, this is how we do things on stage, and you might maybe put a little bug in her ear and say, hey, it might be prudent for you to do this, to have a rehearsal, or let me see what you're working on. But rather than him actually use his expertise to help her, he'd rather just put her down after the fact. And I have a problem with a lot of parents do that. A lot of parents have this mentality of, well, I had to work hard, so I'm going to make my children work harder. But that doesn't work out well. You should have a mentality of, let me teach my child everything I know, so that when they go out in the world, they're already starting with an advanced knowledge of things. They're already starting with an advantage. Why don't we start doing that? When we start saying, let me teach my child everything I know, so when they go out there, they're starting with an advantage, and all they can do is go up higher than what I did. But some people don't have that mentality. And again, I'm expecting too much from people that talk like they're escaped slaves. So that's the end of this video. Check you later.